Hi all, I will be discussing the project number 2, your individual U of M COVID-19 vaccination program. You will be creating 2 documents for this project. You will be creating the project definition document as well as the communications plan. Of course, you have already created a project definition document for your previous project number 1, the 5K, where you paired the philanthropy with the 5K. In this project, you will be creating a project definition document for a COVID vaccination program at the Student Health Clinic on the University of Memphis campus. Using the resources I have provided, you will create that project definition document for the entire COVID vaccination program and a communications plan for this program. You can see here I have provided the actual link for the health center. This is, of course, on campus, and you are pretending like you would be running a vaccination program out of the Student Health Center. You can, of course, decide if it would be inside or outside. I recommend looking through some of the actual projects that have been launched around COVID, the vaccination programs that have been run. This will help you conceptualize what it looks like to actually launch a COVID vaccination program. You would be thinking through, you can go through, you want to start with your project definition document. It's very foundational to a project. And remember, I do not expect you to be professional project managers. I do expect you to research and learn and think through the details of what I've given you so that you can conceptualize this to the best of your ability. You can see here I have attached the CDC Vaccination with Confidence. They have outlined one of their basic task force on how they are going to meet the needs of populations and to vaccinate the U.S. population. You can also see I have provided the Vaccination Communications Toolkit. This is something you will use when you create the communications plan for the COVID vaccination program on the U of M campus. You will take, hopefully you reviewed my feedback from your previous project definition document about the 5K. Hopefully you can take that and do even better on this project. You can see, of course, you will be using the same template. You will just be plugging in new wording based on your new project. The very first sentence, you will use this exact same sentence. This project definition document provides a brief overview of what are you doing. You're creating a program, you're creating a project based on the COVID-19 vaccination program on the U of M campus to promote a shared understanding of it before a more detailed plan, schedule, and budget is prepared. Using the above sentence, add the name of your vaccination program and where it will be implemented. So if it's on the U of M campus, I would like for you to say, will it be inside the actual student health center? Are you going to run it outside? Are people going to stay in their cars? Some of these deliverables are up to you. Remember, every single one of you chose a different 5K to implement. You chose a different 5K philanthropy to pair with your 5K or walkathon. It's very important to think through this because all of your vaccination programs will be different. It should make sense. You want to think through your population. Who is your population with a vaccination program? Your population would be students. You should be able to answer this. Your population would be students. Who else would it be? I want you to make sure you're thinking through those details. When you look at this problem or opportunity, you are going to have to do some research on the problem or opportunity that this is addressing. In terms of what would be the actual problem or opportunity. Well, we've had a huge problem of COVID-19, right? It's affected our economy. It's affected so much of our livelihood, our back to normal, right? The entire concept of returning the world to normal is a huge motivation for the vaccine, but it doesn't stop there. I want you to address and back up your information using research, okay? So I highly recommend using some of these tools that I've provided for you, as well as doing your own research about COVID and why a vaccine is important to get into the arms of your population. The project goal. What would be the goal of your program on the U of M campus? What is the actual goal that you are trying to accomplish? Remember, the goal is broad and our critical success factors are much more specific because they should be measurable. Each one of your, you can see this is an example process objective. This has nothing to do with the project you're actually going to be implementing. Thinking through the actual SMART objectives, 2 or 3 detailed SMART objectives by the end of your program, what would be a good objective? How would you say that you have been successful with your program? How would you say that your project was a success? Remember, when we talk about project critical success factors, we are talking about schedule, scope, budget, and quality. The schedule of the actual program, the budget of the program, how much would it take to actually launch a vaccination program on campus, right? The actual scope, what is involved with this project? What would you include in this project? What would you not include? What about quality? If someone sits in line for 6 hours waiting for their shot, is that a quality experience? You have to think in terms of time management here. So I want you to think through the details of this. I want you to read, look at other projects in terms of other vaccination projects that are alive and very well around us. Some of this we have seen examples of failed project right now in the news in terms of Memphis and vaccination rollout. All right, our very 5th example here, you can see this section provides a high level of list of activities to be completed. When I say high level, this is not as detailed as your work breakdown structure, which you're not even going to be doing for this just yet. You are thinking big picture, what are we providing in our vaccination program? Well, off the top of my head, it would be you are providing a vaccine, right, for people who actually are signed up and registered to receive your vaccine, receive the COVID vaccine, right? You should also document what is out of scope as well. And the key stakeholders, thinking back to your actual population that you are going to be administering these vaccines to, who are your key stakeholders? It wouldn't just be stopping at your population. It wouldn't just be stopping at your target population. It would go even broader than that. Now, make sure that you are thinking through these details. I am going to address the communications plan in a second video. So I want you to make sure that you understand the first portion and then complete the first portion and then begin the communications plan, which is the second portion. They will be submitted together. All right. This is very doable. You do have to research for this. Keep in mind check the percentage of this as your grade, but it is very, very doable. And all of these documents that you are creating, you will be able to bring to the table with your group virtually or in person, bringing to the table and showing your group and talking through who did what well and how can we expand upon this for project number 3. All right, make sure you are taking notes, and you will also have, make sure you're checking for my second video, the communications plan.